wearing that jacket for like a week.
That's fucking disgusting.
It's fucking old. It's an old jacket.
Crusty.
It's crusty. I've been wearing the same trousers.
So is Cameron.
Same
That's
socks.
Same hoodie.
but I've heard of a thing called a washing machine.
This guy
that's
changes shirts once. And he's all like, nah, 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 nah.
You didn't change your hat though.
This is my daily hat.
You didn't change your jeans.
These are my daily jeans.
Once when we started doing bulk recording, that I said we should probably all bring a shirt so we can just change it.
You know,
we did that once, and then you guys were like, "This is nonsense."
Every time we do bulk recording, I've always brought an extra shirt.
And you just never change it.
You just don't change normally.
Yeah. I don't do it unless you guys do, but today I changed.
I did it last.
In fairness, I've always got shirts with me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Welcome back to Tafts,
What
everyone.
an engaging start.
But we haven't even said hello.
Welcome back to Tafts, everyone. Cameron's with me again. Cameron's here again. He didn't kill himself in the previous.
Well, no, I promised I'd do it after this one.
Okay, yeah, cool. Jared, still here?
Still here, unfortunately.
Lives here. New studio soon?
Maybe.
I thought it was guaranteed. Now you fucking...
No, it's guaranteed. I have to move.
You're edging me.
Yeah, well, I have to move, so...
Okay. We might be a homeless record outside Central Station.
I know where I'm deciding to be homeless. It's at the bus shelter across the road from work. Because I at least have the shower at work that I can then go and use.
You actually probably would live fairly comfortably.
Yeah.
Just live out of a swag.
Yeah.
If you started sleeping
Actually, I
at
could
work...
just sleep in the office. Why the fuck would I sleep outside? Just sleep in the office.
How long could you be sleeping at the office before they go, you can't really do this anymore?
Well, I reckon I'd be able to get away with it for a couple of weeks.
There was a job I was doing down the coast, and we were demoing an office, an old office, and one of the demo guys was actually living in the office.
Oh my god!
Bit like out of a swag.
Wasn't
in like a going for a breakup with his wife kind of way?
I think he was a foreigner that was backpacking kind of way.
Fair enough. I kind of respect that.
I'm not going to name the company, but I know it's a company that item that is made of metal, usually aluminium or glass, and it came out in the news like 2 weeks ago that staff were sleeping in the depot.
Yeah, not my.
So stinky.
Not me though. Not mine.
It's kind of funny you say that after the whole like repealing modern slavery laws we brought up last
we're
week.
not allowed to talk about that. I'm actually not allowed to talk about that.
Wasn't that off the podcast?
That was off the podcast.
Yeah, we were talking. If we started a business, like a small bit. To be honest with you, this is the sort of content you get into it like 40 minutes in when no one can hear you, not like 5 minutes in. But me and Jared think that actually, if we start a small business, economically, slavery would be the best way to do it. Because you're saving on so much money. So I'm not talking like we'll just have like white slaves, obviously. Like
That makes it okay if they're white.
So I get what you're going for, right? But I feel like then that circles back around to being racist again.
Because now you're excluding people.
No,
Yeah.
the way that I see it, right?
Yeah,
is,
see, I'm an equal opportunist slaver. I'll slave you if you're black or white. I don't give a fuck.
you know, Jesus Christ. You know the
Podcast has
Bundesliga.
gone to the dogs.
You know the
I think
Bundesliga?
you need to do a trip through like Southeast Asia and like Bangladesh to see
On slavery. We're paying them, aren't we?
Yeah,
like 20 cents an hour.
Yeah, shit. That's not good.
No. Alfie's saying he's going to enslave someone to see how bad slavery is.
But we were saying in
why are you going to enslave someone? Why don't you just become enslaved?
this is a really icky subject, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
We were saying before that like everyone knows this shit is bad until something comes along to like remedy that situation. So when we find like some AI tool can just make iPhones that are cheaper than just like, you know, modern slavery, we're all going to turn around and go, that was terrible.
Yeah, but we
Can't
already
believe
don't
did
like
that.
AI. People are already complaining that AI is going to take all the jobs.
I complain about
Also,
AI.
I feel like if machines make, you know, Apple's iPhones compared to the Chinese children that do it, that'll probably cost more.
Yeah, because then they're going to build data centers.
Yeah.
Just can't get away from
And then
this.
who's going to build the data center microchips?
Who's gonna
Not
build
the AI.
Yeah,
because,
fuck.
like, what comes first?
I mean, I
chicken or
do
the head?
find the whole slavery thing bad, but maybe it's just because I have that.
What a hot take! What a hot
morality.
take! I find slavery bad. Yeah,
Like,
we can
I
confirm
already find this shit bad.
we can confirm on TAFs that slavery
is bad.
It's
bad.
bad.
But
We
what's
don't
worse,
recommend it.
modern slavery or old-timey slavery?
I would
I'd
say
say
old-timey slavery
old-timey
because I don't get
slavery.
anything from it.
Yeah.
Whereas usually modern slavery is like, if you want this thing,
Yeah,
you
think
have
about
to do
it.
that. You
In
know?
old-timey slavery, did they have suicide nets? No.
I feel like as well, like, and by the way,
This
I
is
do
such a
not
bad-
know anything about this. So you've got to point me out when I'm wrong here. we're talking about like some Chinese bloke working in a factory, right?
Yeah.
He's a slave.
And then a live leak logo
Yeah,
shows
yeah.
up.
He can quit his job, can't he?
No,
Well, in a very
can't, yeah.
permanent sense, yeah.
He can quit,
Could
but
he send a resignation letter to his boss?
he can send it.
But what happens to him then?
He gets sent.
Where?
That's
Away.
when the live leak logo shows up.
He gets sent to go and play with the switchboard.
Okay. Because technically back in the day, they couldn't just resign, could they?
He's like, all right, here's your severance package. You just got to reach through this press.
Actually, speaking of this, like resignation and stuff,
Yeah, let's get away from Monster.
Yeah, our undergrad was telling us that in Japan, there's companies that resign for you because
What?
because it's seen as a bad thing to resign from a professional position, and they don't want to go through the shame of dealing with that, so they hire people to resign on their behalf.
Do you know?
That's odd.
Oh yeah, I know the
Yeah.
one you're talking.
That's
Yeah.
fucking wussy
Do you also know
behaviour.
about if they don't fire people either?
In Japan?
Yeah, they'll like what's it called where they like sort of make you redundant.
Oh, okay.
They just give you like no work.
Yeah,
don't
they give you no work, and they feel so
force
much
you-
shame
yeah.
for not being useful at
I-
the
That they
company.
leave.
Japan confuses me because there's so much shame in things like work and jobs and stuff, but there's zero shame in the weird anime fantasies and the Chinese invasion that they did in World War II. There's no shame there. They're quite happy about that.
It's
but-
funny what
There's also
Lachlan-
no shame in the fact that they just get pissed blind drunk and then sleep outside
Yeah,
the office
that's
and then go back to work the next day.
We really got to prioritize here in Japan because the shame doesn't really make sense to me in my head.
Yeah.
It's funny what Lachlan said, how like they have so much shame, like because they just don't get given work. Because I'm just thinking, like, put a few Italians in that company,
Exactly,
and they'll,
yeah. If that was
they'll
me,
be living the fucking dream, right?
if that was me in the office not getting any work to do, but I'm still getting paid,
Yeah.
fucking dreaming.
Imagine, like, they definitely have not got that in Italy and Greece. It's like a shame if they get work. They're like,
I was gonna say Spanish
Yeah.
people probably average like 2 hours of work a day. The rest of it's just fucking eating and drinking.
because those countries are hot, though. Like, I wouldn't want to
What the fuck are you on about? Australia's hot.
Yeah, but we're like Anglified. We're just like, we just got like a bit of an upper lip. Like, oh, I guess we just got.
Yeah, I think we need more Spaniards and Italians here,
I
so we can
remember-
just not work. You know,
I remember someone saying the Australian system is broken, right? Because most people in Southeast Asia, they have like they're like very nighttime focused. It's cooler and stuff. But in Australia, we're so British that we just get it all wrong, and like we shouldn't. Our system.
I like doing shit during the day. I don't like doing shit of the night.
Yeah, but
I
that's
get
because
what
you're
Alfie's
used
saying,
to it,
though,
though.
yeah.
You're used to it.
Nah, I just
yeah,
don't.
but you're one of those cunts that gets up like 5 in the morning.
I do
Shut
get
up.
up at 5 a.m.
exactly.
in the morning.
No, don't say one of his cunts. Like he's in the odd there, Cameron. Just for the context, we started recording this morning at 9 o'clock, and Cameron was like, "That's way too early."
You wanted me to move my plans about for the rest of my day just so you could sleep until 9 o'clock.
Yes,
And I'm the selfish person.
Yes.
Selfish person in this.
Hey, Cameron did eventually come out, but I had to buy him a coffee.
Oh,
Alfie.
no.
I mean, I say I had to. I did offer. Anyway, I should get into booze board.
We should get into booze board.
All right, guys, I brought some pretty special ones in today. Let me just
I didn't
grab
see you
them.
bring anything in.
I didn't see him bring anything in.
Yeah,
He went and got the shirt, but he didn't go and.
he's been hiding it in Jared's fridge.
Oh, you've been hiding them in my fridge.
How come you got so many of them?
I'm just feeling very generous today. So today we got Hans Super Dry.
Did you bring the yogurt as well?
Oh, I didn't see you bring these ones in,
No.
Lachlan. You know I have the exact same ones in my fridge.
Isn't it
Crazy.
Isn't Hans Super Dry your favourite beer, Jared?
You didn't just spell fucking no, you didn't. It is. Well, it's not my favourite. It's just easy to drink.
What is your favourite?
It's a low carb, only 2.5 grams and 113 calories. So you won't turn into a fat.
It's like
fuck.
it's a breakfast in a can.
I genuinely think it might still be too
Fuck,
early
those
to
are
be
some good
drinking.
cracks.
It's Saturday morning, mate. Grow up.
It's Monday.
It is Monday morning. Yeah, I mean, it is just good though, isn't it?
It's just
this?
beer.
It's just good.
It's easy. You can drink it.
This is the baseline.
It's baseline beer.
It's fun. It's not mid.
Yeah, because like it's 10 out of 10 at being average. Do you know what I mean?
It's funny. Like when you say mid,
You think bad?
it's below average.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's like a movie, right? When you like get a movie review and it's like a 5 out of 10 movie, everyone thinks that's bad, but that is just bang in the middle. Like that is just average.
But think, stinking hot day. You've been out in the garden doing fucking garden work or something. You're fucking sweating.
how
and
big
you
is your
just
garden?
want...
Your garden was tiny here.
No. You've seen the front of my house with a courtyard.
You haven't done
And
fucking,
that's
you haven't done fucking work at all.
Anyway.
mate.
Fucking stinking hot day, and you're like, I need a drink.
Yeah.
Crack one of those. Yeah. You just
I know
Down the
you're
hatch.
gonna call this really wankery, but like when I like finish the garden work, I just usually open up a can of soda water and put in like some ice.
So
That's
boring.
so boring. You don't even
Alright.
put anything in the soda water?
Boring.
Let's get some context here. Let's say Franz Ferdinand is
The band or the person?
the person.
Okay.
Archduke? Duke?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
Arctic Franz Ferdinand, yep.
He's strolling around the where
Palace
was it?
Gardens.
Yes, that's right.
Karen knows his history.
And old mate is the guy that shot him.
He took him out.
Philippe, yep.
He's about to shoot him.
Yep.
You go, hold
then
on, mate.
someone- yeah.
It's a stinking hot day today. Have one
fucking
of
have
these.
one of them.
And then he cracks it and goes, fuck, that sounded pretty good.
Is he Serbian, the guy who shot him?
Yeah, it was it Serbia?
They're all kind of the same in that part of the world, aren't they?
I don't think he was.
don't know what-
no, I don't think he was.
Shut up!
Also, don't say that. Don't say that. They had a war over that.
Sorry, we've just had a whole conversation about slavery and why you think that being white is all right. And then you go, they're all the same in that part of the world. Fucking hell, you sound like my grandmother.
I was going to say, that is like the worst thing you could say is, oh, they should just be Yugoslavia again.
No,
They're all
I'm
the
just
same.
just try and tease them. Just try and tease the Slavic listeners out there.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is if you gave this to the guy that shot Franz Ferdinand, would that have stopped World War One?
No, because someone else would have shot the cunt probably after.
Well, no, actually, I think it would have, because if you know your history, he was the only one that was willing to go through with it.
Gavrilo.
The people that were with that guy, like, they all pulled out, and the only reason he did... The only reason he did is because the Archduke basically went by him twice, and he didn't do it the first time, and he went, oh fuck, he's
Jesus.
went by me a second time, I
Yeah.
might as well, like, give it a crack.
Gavrilo Princip, a 19-year-old Bosnian Serb nationalist who killed Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie, although we can't say that. I have no idea what Harry's going to say to that one.
There's no, to the viewers, there is absolutely no context as
There's
to what
no
that
context, but we got a laugh out of it, which is funny. After visiting the seat hall, the royal couple insisted on visiting the hospital. Bad mistake. Check on the wounded. Their driver made a wrong turn into a side street and stopped directly in front of that bloke who did it.
Accidentally.
Yeah, who drew a Browning pistol and fired 2 fatal shots. They've actually got it like, I think there's like a mark now when you go there, and it literally is like a spot where it says like, this is where World War One began.
It's kind of crazy if you look into the history, because there was so many coincidences where, like, they shouldn't have got shot by that guy, and everything that could have went wrong went
think-
wrong.
I think there is a needed context though, which is that at this point in time in history, Europe is literally so horny for a war. Like they are all edging
They're
each
literally
other.
edging each
like
other.
all of them, I think it was saying that because of the industrial like revolution, they built all this technology, all this war and stuff, that they're literally banging to go at it. And then it just takes one, like, you know,
They were gagging for a war.
something catastrophic happens now, and the whole world go, let's not fucking do anything, right?
Yeah,
Back
because
in
of
that
the
nuclear
threat
weapons.
of nuclear weapons.
Back then, you could call someone a cunt, and they'd be like, all right, fuck it, France, we're going fucking for you. Right? So, time to change.
Wasn't
in
this
a
the same
positive
time
way.
that Iran was,
be fair-
sorry, that Israel was saying that the entirety of Europe was just days away
Israel
from
wasn't a
nuclear,
country at that
weapons?
point.
They were saying what?
The entirety of Europe is just days away from nuclear weapons.
When was this?
I don't know. Israel just say that all the time. They're always
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Someone's always days
Technically-
away.
Technically, Israel have a really unique situation where they do not disclose if they have nuclear weapons. So if you ask them if they have nuclear weapons, they're like, we don't know.
But Iran.
But Iran, they're building
They're just
one.
days away. They've
It's
been
funny
days
how-
away for the last 20 years.
Yeah,
It's
we
funny
know.
how Alfie said, like, they were gagging for a war, because that was literally all the time.
Yeah. So I just like to know, Mark in time, it's been like about 10 minutes, and we've talked about slavery, Yugoslavian politics, and Israel.
It's also anti-Semitic to talk about Israel the way we just spoke about.
It is, yeah.
It's not anti-Semitic though. That's
We're not
like
gonna
According
be-
to their definition of anti,
We're not going to be allowed in the UK.
Ah, shit!
No.
Fuck!
No.
What am I gonna
I'm
do?
actually really upset because I literally, this is such a coincidence. I just bought tickets to Tel Aviv, and I keep getting.
Just bought tickets to Tel
They're not gonna let me in now, are they? Fuck. Anyway,
See,
Anyway.
Alfie thought the scenery was really good. He didn't actually realize it was.
I don't even want to say to that.
That's getting bleeped.
For the record, I didn't even want to say this, right? I do want to say this. Like, I feel like Israel feel the hatred more than like just general.
Oh shit!
Really?
But I feel like not many people are anti-Semitic, and if there is anti-Semitism that exists, it mainly comes from Israel just being like, "Fuck, we're just gonna start bombing people."
I
might
feel
get
like
cut.
this issue is very complex and not.
Do you know
Oh,
what?
you sound like fucking David Christophilly now. This is very
Oh,
complex issue.
Look at the enlightened centrist over here.
This platform
It's a
is not the
complex issue.
appropriate
We must
platform.
sit on the fence. Shut the fuck up.
do you know what anti-Semitic actually means?
I do not know.
So, like, Semites are followers of the Judaistic
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Ah.
So it's
Jews.
not just a hatred of religion. It's like anti-Judaistic God followers.
Oh, I see. I'm pro-Semitic, which I don't think many people say they are.
No, I don't.
Jared's giving me like a nod of like, you can shut up now.
So we've established Alfie is he's pro-Jewish, which is a good thing.
It is.
It's just not bad to
But
be.
certain ones,
It's
he's
not
like,
bad to
Honestly,
like Jewish people.
I'm pro-Jewish.
but he's also pro-slavery and bringing back Yugoslavia.
Excuse me, I'm pro-white slavery.
So would you enslave
Pro-white
Jews?
slavery and pro-bringing back Yugoslavia because
Yeah.
that's never had any issues at all.
Bro, yeah, I heard what you said, Jared. I'm going to ignore that
I'm
question.
sure. Alfie.
Yeah, no, because then you're being anti-Semitic by
Yeah,
not
no.
letting them be slaves.
We're gonna see this thing, right? I'm pro-Islam, I'm pro-Jews,
You just let
but I'm
everyone be a slave.
anti-Christian, so maybe we'll start slaving the Christian people.
Okay.
That's what my plan is.
Oh, okay. You see, I'm surprised that you love Islam and hate
fucking hate this
Christianity
podcast.
because you also want to bring Yugoslavia together, and that was one of the big issues.
There's a lot of things here that I'll be honest with you guys, I don't understand
What's going on?
what's going
Like,
on.
I'm not saying the Serbs, the Croats, and the Bosnians had different religions, but they actually did, and that was part of the problem.
When this podcast comes out,
We're fucked. We're fucked.
Alfie will be riding in a carriage with
In Tel Aviv.
Kayla, and he's going to take a wrong turn.
Yeah. A
Another
Serb-
Bosnian.
Oh, welcome to World War Three.
A Bosnian Serb white slave is going to be pulling the trigger. Anyway,
So back to the topic.
back to the topic today.
Beer board.
Oh, fuck.
This is what this all started. with.
We haven't even answered
This
the fucking
isn't the
question.
main episode.
My question to you all is: if I gave this to the guy,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
would this stop World War One?
I think it would.
I
So
don't
I think
think
it would.
is
He
this-
was
is
he was
this-
so close to not doing it.
Is this a ceasefire?
Yeah, this
That's what I'm asking.
By admission, I think we had to put it in ceasefire.
See, here's the thing, though. I don't like that question because if you gave Princip any good beer, he would have not shot them.
Exactly.
If you go up to Benjamin Netanyahu, would he be like,
No.
back in?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no. That's what he
No, he'd say, "Well, yes, this beer was promised to me 3,000 years ago."
and then you tell them Iran made it.
Yeah, Iran made a beer, Jared. Yep.
They actually don't have nuclear enrichment facilities. It's just a big ass brewery.
Iran are building breweries. We must stop them.
You've been saying that for the past 30 years, mate. They're not making beer, I tell you.
George
Could
Bush,
you imagine
we
if that's
believe,
what the whole war was about? It's not even making nuclear weapons. They've just made a fucking.
we believe Saddam Hussein is making a Guinness brewery.
We believe the fundamentalist Muslim country is making beer.
What a fucking start to an episode. This is generally the most. Like I said to Harry before, maybe we'll be.
This is why we have to drink at 9 a.m.
Well, we said to Harry before, we have to make edgier episodes. I think
They have a secret brewery right next to a bacon farm.
this is the sort of episode.
It's getting offensive.
Iran's pork imports have been going through the roof.
Okay,
What the fuck are we talking
we'll
about?
leave it now. We'll leave it now because given it's a history episode, it might just get more problematic as we
Oh,
go.
fuck.
Don't worry,
So
though.
what, we stick
we're-
that in ceasefire.
Well, don't worry, guys. We're talking about something a little less controversial: the Falklands.
I'm going to say I'm feeling giddy for this one.
Yeah, giddy.
Giddy.
Okay, I'm glad we can disagree and get on with it.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway, so
Speaking of Falklands, you know the whole thing with Top Gear and that number plate?
Yeah,
Do you reckon that was a bit
I think
or
it was
not?
deliberate.
It was
I think
deliberate?
it was deliberate.
I think it was a bit.
Yeah, 100%. That whole show was just bits.
Yeah, I think
It was a very funny bit.
I think because it blew up in their face.
What was the actual number plate?
It was FLK.
Yeah, I think
80.
It was the year as well.
82.
just let you know, the whole episode is about this war, so let's not get into like the details too much. But I do believe it was deliberately done by them. And then I think it went to shit.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, we got to pretend it was this now.
Yeah, because James May was on a podcast or an interview and he was explaining that
There's only one made.
Yeah, exactly. The chances of that happening was so low. But because the chances of that happening so low, then it's a higher chance that they did it on purpose.
So
I reckon.
the number plate was H98982FKL. And the war was in 1982.
Yeah.
So I feel like, come on, Jeremy. That was poor form. Anyway, the last, what was it called? Poor Past episode? Piss Poor Past.
Piss Poor Past.
Piss Poor Past was about the Titan submarine. Now, last week, I brought props for that
What
episode.
props have you got for this one?
Well, just so you know, the props for the Titan submarine were like swimming goggles and other swimming gear. I have brought props this week. It's Argentina's claim on the Falklands.
I don't see it.
There's nothing here.
Where is it?
There's nothing literally here. So I will give you the story today
Fuck,
because
this is a problematic episode.
I didn't realize
isn't
you guys are actually going to be talking about the Falklands.
yeah. So last time we did it, we kind of were like separating the guy Stockton Rush into whether he is like a sick cunt or is he bad guy.
Shit cunt.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty bad guy, Stockton Rush apparently.
Also, I actually know nothing about the Falkland War.
Good, you're gonna learn a
about
lot.
to find out.
Yeah, and I think Cameron's going to know quite a bit, and I really would like you to refrain from being like, actually.
No
so
promises.
Mostly because it's just to do with Maggie Thatcher. He
yeah,
loves
there's,
Maggie
there's a
Thatcher.
bit of Maggie Thatcher. Britain gets a mummy in to clean up everything for us. Really, that's what happens when things go to shit. We go and elect a.
Get some mummy.
Yeah, we got Mummy involved because
Mummy Thatcher.
Mummy Thatcher, because things got so bad. We were like, let's bring Mummy Thatcher in. Yeah,
Well, look at it this way. Every time we've had a bloke in charge in the UK, he hasn't done much, you know?
no. Well, dude, Cameron fucked a pig.
He didn't do it while he
Yeah,
was
but that
in
doesn't
power.
really help the UK. That just helps his erection.
And
Yeah.
it depends, like you
And
know.
I ran the pork industry.
Theresa May, like, you know, she was like, in terms of Tories, she was like a better Tory.
She lasted less than a head of lettuce.
No, that's Liz Truss.
That's
Sorry, that's
Truss.
Liz Truss, you're right.
Liz Truss, yeah. Bad lady, Liz Truss. Anyway, chapter 1, because we break it up into chapters. Chapter 1, Didcot and Skem's love child.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Imagine a place that is so devoid of happiness.
That is the love child of Didcot.
Imagine a place that is so devoid of joy. A place riddled with sadness and despair, where the sun hardly shines and you seem to be miles away from civilization. Are you imagining that, Jared, in your head?
Yeah, it's Skem.
Well,
Leeds.
It's not Didcot or Skem, but it's kind of like it.
It's Argentina.
It's in the south of England, and it's full of penguins. It's the Falkland Islands.
It's in the south of England.
It is the south. It's the very, very south of England. It's, if you think of
If you look on a map.
if you think of Dover, which is obviously very south, it's further south than that.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Do you know where the Falkland Islands is?
I thought I did.
The
Yeah.
middle of fucking nowhere.
It's like
Can you get it
It's
up on
off
a
the
map?
east of Argentina.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
That's why I saying the south of England, because it is very south
it's very
of
south
England.
of England.
I was like, wait a minute.
It's further south than Leeds.
It is,
believe
yeah,
that.
officially further south than Leeds.
He's got fucking Among Us on his iPad.
Yeah, we were playing it the other night.
And another fun fact, Lachlan, is that the Falklands is like the poorness and the destitution is so bad, it's almost as bad as Leeds.
Yeah,
Take-
it's almost that.
just the south of England.
Yeah. It's very
Just
south.
ignore
of
the bit
England.
that says America.
Yeah, that's what.
Very south.
And the people are very backwards. I mean Leeds, by the way.
We'll talk about the people in the Falklands soon. Now, Lachlan here is our Australian citizen here, and he is actually a victim here of British colonisation, while we're obviously the perpetrators of it.
Well, no.
So there may be times, Lachlan, in this episode where your little colonial brain gets confused. And I see you smack your little colonial button when you just have a question because you're confused. So right before there, when you went, south of England, what? Bam, colonial, I'm just an idiot. I'm just a stupid little colonial boy. I don't know what's happening.
I will say those exact words.
Yeah. So can you please say it? Just, I'm a victim of colonization. I need to ask a question. Just say that every time.
It sounds like woke nonsense.
Well, no, we feel bad about what happened. So we have to...
No, I don't.
I don't think I'm a victim of colonization. I think there's another group of people on this land
This episode just keeps getting worse.
that are a victim of colonization.
But while Lachlan, Alfie's going to make you his white slave. So.
Although I am 132nd, so I will count that.
Oh, okay.
Fuck.
You went to the indigenous programs in school.
I did,
didn't you?
yeah.
All right. We're stopping it now. We're stopping it.
I went to the lunches.
The Falkland Islands, also referred to by a different name by a bunch of wet wipes, are a series of islands that are 12,860 kilometers away from the United Kingdom, which is about 7.6.
What are you on about? The part of the United Kingdom?
Well, yeah, they
They're
are.
not
They're the same
12,000
country,
kilometers
yeah.
away. They're in the same
But
country.
they're a long way from the mainland. They're
Yeah.
They're also about 7.67 million Darrens away. That's a lot of Darrens.
Wait, 7.6 million.
Million Darrens.
How many Oh, yeah.
12,000 kilometers. So I
that's
think
not-
Darren, obviously very short human
Well, he's
being.
not a kilometre tall. So.
The islands are believed to be uninhabited before European discovery in the 17th century, which is actually a hallmark first for any European colonial power not to immediately kill all the indigenous people on the island. So that's good for us. We're actually not the bad guys in this one.
Wasn't it full of penguins?
Yeah, but that's the reason why probably so many European countries didn't.
So,
bother
sorry.
Going.
Oh, hey, these guys are kind of chill. Yeah, what's going on?
Dapping them up.
There is some evidence that indigenous groups from South America may have visited the islands, but it was only kind of like passing through. There's no evidence that anyone actually lived there. The islands do appear early in Portuguese maps, but who cares about Portugal? There's no indication that Portuguese ever landed there, and it was the fact the English who not only landed there, but officially named it. So it was the English who first went to the islands and went, all right, this is actually a place, we're going to call it something. So Captain John Strong discovered the island in 1690 and named it after Anthony Carey, who was a fifth Viscount Falkland, and he funded the trip.
Oh, okay.
Which is a bit nonsense, and like if you find an island not naming after yourself but naming after someone else,
Yeah, but you got to.
who's a bloke too, not even naming it after like your girlfriend or something. That's like
Yeah,
naming
but he paid for the trip.
Yeah, I was going to say that's.
If you paid for a
yeah.
Taft's trip and we stumbled across something that hadn't been
You wouldn't
discovered,
call it
it'd
Alfie
be
Island.
the Cadmans.
I would call it the Cadmans. Plus, it has a really good ring to
Cadman
it.
Islands does
It has a really good ring
the
to it.
Cayman
doesn't it?
Islands, yeah.
It's like the Cayman Islands,
yeah.
but
And there's a little hut that's blue and white with a gold top.
a temple, you may say.
Yes.
What happens there?
Don't ask.
Dentistry.
Dentistry.
It gets lit.
Strong remarked that the islands were wet, cold, barren, but potentially a useful location.
So that's why the English liked it.
Yeah, well, England does have a habit in colonial times of dealing with anything that's too shit. And I think it's because we're too polite to say no. It's like Australia. Like, so many people went to Australia before England did, and they went, this is like, we cannot do anything here. This is shit. Shit land. But the English go, fuck it. Like, we'll just do it. Like, we'll just give it a go. And they kind of do the same thing with the Falklands. It's miserable.
Are we still doing that at the moment? Like,
No,
is
we've
this
kind
shit,
of
but
left
we're
that.
still-
We've kind of stopped doing that now.
Oh no, I meant with Australia. Like, when did we just finally decide that it's shit and we just leave?
They kind of have to make the mark. They have to kind of say that now. We don't really get a say in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
But do you want to leave?
Sounds expensive to leave, but it also sounds expensive to say. So, kind of a stalemate.
Now, Strong leaves and England leave the islands alone. So they see it, they go, cool, but we're not fucking dealing with it. In 1764, it was those ghastly French who established a colony on the eastern side of the island, and they called the settlement there Port St. Louis. The French gave the whole island a name, which roughly means, translates to Isla Malvinas, which is basically what the Argentine call it. So that's where the Malvinas comes from. Do you know it's called the Malvinas?
No, it's the Falklands because it's the south of England.
Yeah, it is. It's our southerly, most English part of England. But yeah, basically that's where that name comes from. Do you know that, Cameron?
No.
Spanish name.
Malvines.
The Malvinas. That's what the Argentina call it. Argentinians
Argentines.
cool. There's bloody RGs.
Is the Maldives Argentinian?
No.
No, it's just
That's
kind
a
of a
completely
Spanishy
different
word.
country.
A year later, in 1765, Englishman John Bryan set up a colony on the western side of the Falklands. Totally unaware that the French had claimed the land a year previously, he named the grounds Port Egmont and claimed the islands Britain based on the grounds of previous discovery. So he claims the islands for Britain. But Britain and France don't know that
They're on the same island.
they have no clue that they're on the same island, which must be really awkward if you...
I'd
discover
fucking
that.
hate to find out that I turned up on another island with French people.
Yeah, and you go, what's up, brother? And they're like, bonjour. And you're like, oh,
Fuck! This place was already shit. Now it's worse.
Now, Spain and France have an alliance at the time, and there's this whole drama where basically the Pope drew a line on a map in South America. They went, anything on this line is Spanish, and anything on this
Why
line
did the
is
Pope
French.
get to make all these decisions back
Because
in the
it's
day?
like something to do with, like, he's the head of the Catholic Church. Spain and France are both Catholic countries, so the Pope has a lot of like weight at this time, right? Yeah,
The Catholic Church for like hundreds of years basically ruled fucking European everything.
that's why England became Protestant, because King Henry VIII just wanted to keep fucking other women, and the
What a
Pope,
smart man.
and the Pope kept being like, "Stop, please."
Which is actually kind of funny because it ended up being one of the best decisions that England ever made. Because when they got away from the like Pope and stuff, everyone thought they would have like less power, and for a little bit they did. But then they realized that they just were very powerful and went, "We just don't have to listen to the Pope like the rest of you cunts." And then
did they apply
England
that?
did the whole conquering a quarter of the world thing.
got
and then
autonomy.
did they apply that same thinking to Brexit? But it just went tits up.
Apparently, the attitude, the anti-European attitude, like, comes from King Henry VIII being like, "Nah, not interested in this."
Fair enough.
So apparently, that attitude has been going on for like a good 500 years.
Fair
So basically, there's this whole line, and the Spanish go, "Hey, France, you need to fuck off, because this is in our line. We want the islands." And the French are like, "Okay, we will leave the islands, but watch out for those dirty English on the other side." So they warn Spain that the English are there, right? So in 1770, Spanish commander Don Juan, which is like the most Spanish fucking name.
Isn't that a
of the time.
tequila brand?
Don Juan.
Don Juan is a tequila brand, yes.
So he visits the English settlement, right? And he informs the English that the Pope had drawn a line, and therefore they must leave. The English were like, "Actually, fuck off."
Which is the most
about
English response
Yeah.
ever.
So, you go there, there's a line here, and English go, "We don't care."
The Pope said you need to leave. We're Protestant.
So,
That's never been a problem.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
wouldn't know. Anyway, so Don Juan, he does fuck off, because the English have got more guns and he fucks off. So where does he fuck off to, do you think?
Probably
Argentina.
He fucks off to Argentina, where he returns to the Falklands with 5 armed ships and 1,400 soldiers. And they force the British to temporarily leave the islands, but a few months later they were able to win them back. So there's a lot of going and throwing here. Like, they kick them off and then they come back. Now, Lachlan is obviously a convicted colonial bread thief, so we have to get to the next part very carefully. But a major war breaks out that changes the ownership of the islands dramatically. It's called the American War of Independence, so don't get any ideas. Don't get any ideas.
You're still Alfie Slave.
Basically, there was another country like Australia,
Yeah.
and they got a bit like
They got bit big for the boots.
they got a bit tired of English rule, which is really like that was a bit of an issue for us, and they had like a bit of a war, and we were like, actually, we don't want to deal with these fucking Yanks,
Yeah.
and we just let them
Yeah.
go. But don't get any ideas.
I don't think I'm familiar with this country.
Don't get ideas.
Good.
Okay.
Let's not forget they allied with the dirty French.
Yeah, they did. So basically, a bunch of colonies got together, and to be honest, we didn't want them anyway. We want the Falklands. We don't want America. But we had to leave the Falklands basically to help with the war effort. Because obviously a lot of ships are down there. America's fairly close. They went up to do that. But Britain still wanted to assert their sovereignty over the islands. So what do you think they did?
Left like a few people there.
Bomb the fuck out of it.
Planted some crops.
They planted a plaque.
Yeah.
Or installed a plaque.
Yeah.
That just said, "This is Britain, by the way."
Yeah, that's fun.
Which is probably the most British thing.
In
to be
fairness.
like, we'll leave a plaque here that says this is the UK.
Yeah, you've literally just left a note and said, "Gone for milk, we'll be back."
The Spanish then do in fact take over for a bit, which is actually a bit fucking. That's
just fucking rude.
That's poor
rude.
form. We had a,
There's a plaque.
We had
Yeah.
a plaque there.
In fairness, was the plaque in Spanish or was it in English?
They come back.
couldn't
Did you
read
not
it.
read the plaque?
But due to the Napoleonic invasion and the Argentinian War of Independence, they also have to leave the islands in 1811. The Spanish also leave a plaque there before they go.
Do they stick it? It's just the British
Yeah, it's
one.
just the war of plaques at the
Just put
moment.
fucking
The
plaques.
problem is they do that one in Espanol, so the Brits
The
go.
Brits have no idea
"Dunno-
what it means."
Don't know what that says.
So basically, England and Spain are both claiming sovereignty for the islands, and really never had such an ugly broad like the Falklands had so many dogs crawling for it. I mean, the Falklands is ugly. It's a horrible, disgusting, looking place. And the fact that so many European countries are like, well, we're going to fucking put a plaque here to say that it's ours. I mean, these nations at the time are just too powerful and have too much, because we wouldn't do it nowadays because we're thinking, oh, it's a fucking lot of money to put a plaque down.
Yeah, well, did you hear about the
rock.
plaque that they had to replace in Victoria?
it
It cost
was-
fucking 30 grand
Yeah,
because
exactly.
there was one spelling mistake on it.
It said
Honor-
the.
Yeah, no, it said honourable, didn't it? And they
So
spelled honourable.
it said the
The
honourable,
honourable,
and
it's
they
not.
got rid of the.
Fuck.
Regardless, the original British colony settlement was destroyed by the Spanish, and the population who was living on the island all left. For a long time, the island became the domain of whalers and cowboys. So Spanish cowboys were on the island. They're not.
Was the cows on the island?
They were cows, so they got replaced later on. But we're not there yet. They got
Spanish
replaced by sheep.
cowboys were on the island, so imagine like 1,000 Speedy Gonzaleses.
Abrigo, abrigo. The picture I'm trying to paint here is between 1811 and 1820. No one really cared about the sovereignty of the islands. They were visited by shipwreckers and whale hunters, but that's about it. So basically, between these years, no one gives a shit about the islands. They're just there. Everyone's kind of busy doing wars.
It's kind of like a servo.
It's between the War of 1812
Yeah.
and other few wars. So Spain are busy, England are busy. They've got plaques there, but there are whales and stuff going there. In 1824, a merchant by the name of Louis Vermont travelled to the islands after he heard about all the cattle living there, so he wanted to set up a private venture. He had received permission to do so from both the British and Argentine governments to set up there.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Argentina are going like, well, that's our fucking islands. Um,
Well, what a fucking idiot for paying a lease twice.
Yeah, so he goes there to do some shit with cattle, like business stuff, not fuck them.
I didn't think you meant fuck
You
the
weren't thinking
cattle.
that. But then some American whalers arrived and started making a havoc of things, so they arrived.
They know that cattle aren't whales, right?
They're just, I think that the American there to like do whale shit, the guy there's to do some cow shit, and he's like, these Americans are fucking annoying me.
Whales and cows live in two very different environments.
Yeah, but for some reason it's really bothered the men. So he asked the Argentinian government for help, but they refused to directly help and instead give him weapons. And then this guy seized US ships, and they also named him the governor of the island. So Argentina at this point,
So Cowman is now
he's the governor of the
the
island.
governor of the island.
Yeah, which really tells you that the Argentinian government do not give a shit about anything at this point.
You've
They're
just
like,
let a cattleman.
there's a bloke on the island, let's just fucking name him governor. You do shit, why not? The US obviously were quite pissed off that this guy had just been like, you know, kind of fucking
Made
over
the
their
governor,
ships.
yeah.
And well, they destroyed his settlement. They literally got all these, you know, ships down there, and they destroyed the fuck out of his settlement and ruined his cattle business.
Fair enough.
Following this, the Argentinian government commissioned a penal colony to be set up, but the major task of the job was killed by soldiers who formed a mutiny. So after this, Argentina were like, all right, let's actually do something properly on the island. They send this guy to do it, and then the soldiers just mutiny and kill him. So it fails. They don't set up a colony here. So why is this all? Why is all that important, Jared? What have I told you? Why is that important?
Oh, they can't decide whose fucking island it is, and they've just left a load of plaques.
Well-
I think the most important thing is you said that Argentina basically said, Britain, you can have this, which is very funny given what happens next.
Well, actually, it's kind of the opposite of that. Basically, Argentina are kind of claiming the islands at this point. They're kind of making decisions for the islands, right? And so this spurs the British to return because they're like, whoa, that's our fuck. That's Didcot.
That's the south of England.
That's Didcot and Skem's love child. Like, don't
Yeah.
fucking do it to
Shithole.
our islands.
Yeah, don't touch our shithole.
In 1833, they return. They import several sheep, and they found the capital of the Falklands, which is called Port Stanley. And at one point, Stanley was actually the busiest international port. And yeah, basically, it kind of progressed into like an actual kind of colony, and Argentina had like no involvement in it. Basically,
Is there much there now?
yeah, we'll get into that. But basically, that's kind of the broad history of the start
Yeah.
of the Falklands.
A lot of fucking around.
A lot of fucking around, a lot of like, you have it, no, we have it. It's a lot of like Chuckle Vision. To me, to you, to me,
Yeah.
to you. Which I don't think you'll have any reference for, will you?
We'll insert a clip here.
Rest in peace.
Chuck,
Which one died?
one of them died.
One of them died, yeah.
Which one?
Oh,
Barry?
Yeah, I think it was Barry that died.
I really want to play the Chuckle Vision theme now.
Yeah, I love
Chuckle Vision.
yeah.
Chuckle
Vision.
Vision. Dun, 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 dun.
I actually
Like
met
what
this
the-
sounds
actually-
like a cult.
I actually met the Chuckle Brothers as a kid. And I'm not
Not
gonna lie.
they give me vibes.
I was going to say, Alfie's lucky. I met Jimmy Savile as a kid.
Thing is that if one of them ever comes out as a nonce, I'm fucking ruined because I can't remember what happened with them.
Oh. Chicka vision. This is like prime, like early
Yeah.
2000s childhood.
I think I did see the story about when one of them passed away.
Vision, Chuckle Vision. Okay.
Fucking so. When did that come out? It would have been like the
90s,
90s.
80s.
Yeah.
To me, to you. Okay. Anyway,
They did live shows as well.
they did. That's where I met them.
Yeah.
And literally, I had to do it in front of the stage, and they went, "What's your name?" And I was like too shy, and my mum was like, "Alfie." And that's how I
What, she
met
was
Chuckle.
reminding you what your name
Yeah.
was?
I've got an autograph from the Chuckle Brothers. You know.
Sell it.
No, because they put literally to Alfie. Don't tell us your seat. Don't tell us.
Don't sell this on eBay.
Anyway, chapter 2. Yeah, but who actually fucking lives there? So let's talk about who lives in
Penguins.
Penguins. Yeah.
Cows and sheep.
The population of the Falklands is 3,600 people and 500,000 sheep, which is truly a Kiwi's wet dream. I mean, Zach would be overwhelmed.
So
if he
most
was
of the
there.
Brits that are there are Welsh, right?
Yeah, in fact, during the war, many Welsh volunteered to break. I'm glad you.
Shock horror.
I'm glad you laugh because I'd have to say the next sentence now. We'll just skip over that sentence.
No, go on.
No, because I have to bleep it anyway.
No, go on.
In fact, during the war, many Welsh volunteered to rape and pillage the islands because of the.
Sorry. It got worse.
It got worse.
Please don't assault me, Welshman. I'm not here for you.
Yeah, no. In fact,
Give me your sheep.
now this actually is a fact. Because obviously the Welsh volunteers, obviously that's a bit. But in fact, many of the people who are on the islands are actually of Welsh and Scottish descent.
Of course they are.
There is a mix of English, French, South American, and like people who are from Gibraltar also there. The accent weirdly has been described as a mix of South African, Kiwi,
the fucking
and
was.
Cornish,
Ooh.
which I have no fucking clue. Well, that sounds like
What a combo.
What a terribly.
Yeah, well, South African's bad.
Well, wait, start. All right, Jared. Can you
South
do
African,
accents?
New Zealand.
Not very well.
Wait, you know accents pretty well. Start saying yeah, bro. Kiwi, get that one covered.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but you want me to mix all three
No,
of
no,
these
we're doing
very
it. We're
different-
doing it. We're doing it bit by bit. Yeah, bro, and then add a bit of South African flavor into that.
Just think Nelson
can't do
Mandela.
it.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, bro, and then add Cornish, which is like
Chatter.
chatter. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. I hate that. I hate that. I said that and I'm like, nope, that's the worst
That's the
accent.
accent.
I think the Falklands have the worst accent
Yeah.
on the planet.
So, in a recent consensus, 59% of the islanders listed themselves as being Falkland Islanders, and that's specifically Falkland Islanders, not Islanders. Yeah, bro. And then followed by 29% British, 9.8% St. Hellion, 5.5% Chilean, and a few Argentine people do live on the island. How do they get in? The Falkland Islands is a very socially and culturally important place. Visit landmarks such as the Dockyard Museum, the most southerly Anglican cathedral in the world, the Thatcher bust, which is true. They actually have like a bust of Thatcher.
Yep.
Also want to know
It's
here-
actually just Thatcher's bust. It's just a tit.
No head.
It's just a tit.
The craziest thing is
they want
have,
mummy.
they have the Thatcher bust and they also had the world's first gender neutral toilet.
No, unfortunately, Cameron, the Falkland Islanders love Thatcher.
Oh.
They love Thatcher, which I suppose from their point of
That
view
does
makes
make sense, yeah.
Because on the 10th of January, they celebrate Thatcher Day.
What a fucking terrible day.
Which
to
is,
be
what-
which is
alive.
also
what
10th
day?
Of, 10th,
Sorry?
of, 10th of January, which is also the most controversial day in January. For public
what-
holidays.
Yep, no other controversial
What date
holidays.
did Thatcher die?
Oh God, I actually have to look this up now. It was
I'm just saying because like that's the one I celebrate.
Yeah.
I feel like my knowledge is gonna be good here. I feel like it must be April. I reckon it's April something. It's the 8th of April, 2013.
Ah, fuck, we just missed Thatcher Day.
You did miss that today. There's also one pub there, the Rose Bar, which is your standard
Just one?
pub. Yeah.
Fucking what the... That is the
know.
worst part of fucking
Alright,
England
they've
I've
got
ever heard about.
They got multiple drinking venues, but there's only one pub.
Nah, that's the worst.
Taft's trip to the Falkland
Yeah,
Islands.
they got pokies there too.
Oh, fuck. So
Lachlan says that, but I genuinely would go to the
yeah,
Falklands just
I
to see.
want to see what they do on Thatcher Day.
I actually, when I
celebrate.
looked up a video of the Falklands, I did think it does look nice. Like it looks really peace and quiet. Apparently, a lot of British people move there because they're just so sick of how busy Britain is.
Is it like the equivalent of when the Nazis went to Argentina?
Yeah, without the war crimes. Yeah, without those key things.
Didn't Hitler move
I
to
mean-
Argentina after the war?
Supposedly,
Brits
after
can-
he blew
Brits
his
did do
brains
war
out in the
crimes.
bunker.
No. It's undisputable that the British do war crimes, but we just don't care about it as much. Like,
Jesus Christ.
because we never lose. That's the issue. And I was going to say, by the way, that's horrific, right? Like, Winston Churchill made some pretty bad... Like, he caused famines and stuff.
Yeah.
But we went, oh, I'll build a statue for him. So, Germany are better at learning their history.
Yeah. Churchill might have starved India, but we're not India, so.
Speaking of the Rose Bar, this episode is brought to you by the Falkland Island Tourist Board. Despite its small size, the Falkland Island competes in the Commonwealth Games, where they have won 0 medals. They first appeared in the 1982 games, which actually becomes a bit of a weird thing. So before 1982, Britain, despite it being the southernmost English point, they don't give a shit about the Falklands. They're just there.
Yeah.
But after 1982, we suddenly kind of go, actually, we maybe need to start caring about them. And so they enter things like the Commonwealth Games. They're going to be competing in 2026, where they'll compete in one sport, which is...
Probably football. No.
Shooting.
Cow fucking.
lawn bowls.
Lawn bowls.
They also have the
left
Falkland Island National Anthem.
Which sounds like...
We're going to play it.
Oh, God.
God save our gracious...
That's just the intro for the video, obviously.
Yeah. That was the ad. Yeah, it's quite peaceful. Is this something offensive?
No, this is actually the anthem of the Falkland Islands. It's very peaceful. It's got the lyrics too in it, apparently. That's what the accent sounds like. Right.
Interesting. Anyway, this is no interesting
It
to
sounds like that guy from Hot Fuzz.
Right.
Honestly, it sounds like an old Australian song. It genuinely sounds
does,
like some
yeah.
like Banjo Patterson shit.
I would say so. In the comment section for like that video, it's just the worst of it's just there's a guy there who just put in the whole lyrics of Rule Britannia, which really has no relevance.
What does?
Yeah, I suppose it does in terms of the war, but it just also like that. You can imagine what sort of person is a bloke in a shed who is probably a bit racist
With a pot belly and bald head.
Yeah, and he's going, I fucking
And he
the
goes,
Falklands.
and he goes, rev up the Bugatti.
He votes reform, and you know for a fact he said, fucking England!
Yeah, and he's thinking it's so overcrowded in England, he might move to the Falklands.
Yeah.
Which is the most British thing.
Yeah,
They
because
also-
he hates immigrants.
That's the thing too, right?
So it becomes the
The
immigrant.
Falklands would be lovely to be, right? But you can imagine it's probably full of like some
Awful people.
awful people. They also have a newspaper
Argentinians.
called the Penguin News.
Penguin
Yeah,
news.
it's
I
quite
like
cute,
that. Yeah.
Chapter 3. Argentina, calm the fuck down. Time to talk about the antagonists of our story here. Now, Argentina have always claimed the islands. It was 1945 when Argentina formally complained to the newly formed United Nations about the Falklands, and the UN said, we're a bit busy. So the Argentina go,
We're a bit busy.
yeah, because obviously they go, guys, if we're gonna start decolonization, start the Falklands. And the UN go, have you been living under the rock for the past 6 years? There's some shit to deal with. So the UN kind of go,
But see, like, when I have a to-do list, I like to just knock off the easy shit first and deal with the hard stuff.
you think the
later.
Falklands Islands is a small win?
Fucking, they literally could just turn around and went, nah.
Jared would be
Move
the
on.
worst general ever. Hitler's moving upon us. Yeah, but that seems a bit difficult. Let's deal with this first.
Yeah.
And we'll
Fucking
circle
so easy.
back
wins.
to the
Yeah.
Nazis.
Small
You-
wins.
the small wins make a larger win.
The thing is, though,
Easier.
if Jared was like working at the UN and went, all right, we've got to talk about the Israel-Palestine conflict, and Jared's like, well, actually, let's think about Gibraltar, Spain, and the UK. That's still an ongoing.
Yeah.
Ah, so what
no,
you're
but I want, like, real small wins.
You want smaller than that?
I want fucking small, like...
Or does Norfolk's belong in the
Send
Moreland
it-
Bay, you know,
no,
regional
we're not
council?
even fucking talking
You know,
that. Send
on a
an
serious
email.
note-
Shut up. I'm sending an email to the city of Moreton Bay to say whether North Lakes should be its own council. or
Yes.
not. That's it. I'm sending it. It's a note that just says, send an email. That's it.
No, when will Mango Hill and North Lakes have separate postcodes?
This is really that's our Falklands in
the big-
Australia.
I'm starting to realize the sort of people that work at the UN. It's just like 100 Jareds.
Well, despite the
That's why
UN,
nothing happens.
despite the UN telling them to fuck off, the Argentine government keep complaining about the islands, saying,
womp
"I mean,
womp.
come on, they're closer to us, come on." But the UN just kind of sweep it under the rug for a long time until 1965, where they pass UN Resolution 2065, which is basically they formally recognise that there is a sovereignty dispute and that Britain and Argentina should negotiate. So they're basically going, okay, yeah, fair enough, the islands are disputed, but you guys sort it out. That's what the UN are doing, basically.
So
right?
they literally said, we've resolved that it is not our problem. You two work it out.
It is, yeah. It is truly a smaller brother telling on their parents that their older brother has been playing on the Xbox for way too long and they need to share.
Is that,
That
a
is the
situation
equivalent.
between you and Harry?
Yeah, Harry is Argentina in
Yeah.
this instance, and I am the UK.
UK, yeah.
And the Xbox is my most southerly point. It's the most southerly point.
It's part of the mainland.
And I know Harry may be close to the Xbox controller, but he definitely doesn't own it.
What Alfie's trying to say is he almost killed Harry over the Xbox.
The British were actually open to selling the islands to Argentina, but there was one issue. So the Britain are like, okay, we're kind of willing to give it to you, but the issue is what? What do you think it is?
Argentina don't want to
Argentinians.
buy it.
No, they want to buy it. They want it. The issue is, Jared's right, all the people there just want to be British.
Yeah.
So there are plans to try and move them elsewhere and stuff, but they're like, well, no, we've been here. Because people have been there for like generations. They're like, well,
Yeah.
we don't want to fucking leave. So things get tastier in 1976 when the Argentinian military overthrow their government and they establish a junta, which is a military government. This regime launched what was known as the Dirty War, in which political opponents were often arrested, tortured, and killed, and thousands disappeared in this time. It's actually a weird one, the Falklands, because it's actually the first story when it's like colonial, where Britain are probably the good guys. We're probably the heroes of the story, which is pretty rare. As a little colony, thief, bread thief, are you surprised to hear that?
I am surprised.
Because you're usually the victim of all of our,
Well, not me, the victim, but
No, but we sent you here to build houses and shit.
Yeah, and look at us now.
You got carried away, don't get me wrong. You got very carried away. We were like, just build some houses. Fucking hell, what do you mean you're stealing kids?
I don't build houses. I just do the electrical for it.
Yeah, was your great-great-grandfather just an electrician back in the 1700s?
Maybe, yeah.
There's
The equivalent was like oil lamp.
As
technician.
Alfie said, there's not a lot of wars where Britain were the good guys. There's only a few. There's this one. There's World War II because we fought the Nazis. And there's the 100 Years' War because we fought the French.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's the one with Ireland.
Yeah, no, we're definitely not the good
Cameron's
guys.
face.
Definitely not the good guys in that one.
I will
It's a
skull
joke.
fuck you.
Even in the First World War, Britain, there's not really a good guy or a bad guy. They're just guys having a horny tussle because Europe was so horny at the time, as we've already established. And by the early 80s in Argentina, inflation had grown by 600,000%, which later actually,
How many Darrens is that?
that's a lot. So basically, inflation grows by 600%, which actually is what inspired Anthony Albanese later to do the same thing. I actually like Albanese, so that's just a joke. Many had lost
I
confidence.
like the way you put that disclaimer in, though.
Yeah, in case he's listening.
because we don't want the right wing
No, we
activists
don't.
to be like, "Oh, we like this guy."
We're a very left-wing podcast, but we have to be careful of things like that. That's why we said white slavery at the start. Many had lost confidence in the government, and large protests were starting to gather as the nation starved. Human rights groups, such as the Mothers of Plaza de Mayo, were drawing international attention to the horror. I feel like the Falklands really is a story of mummies coming in and causing havoc. So we got the mother group in Argentina going, this government's fucked. And we got Mummy Thatcher who comes in and just goes, well, this is fucking horrendous.
She said it exactly like that.
Yeah. I do have to put on a bit of a Thatcher voice later on.
Oh.
So don't get too horny. Don't get too
hard on.
Yeah. Now, the Argentinian government see all this commotion. They see starving mothers, unemployed fathers. They see children with no hope. And they decide, fuck it, let's just take these islands back.
Sorry, you've just described Skelmersdale.
Yeah. But what does Skem do if the Skem man in a crisis goes, all right, we've got to take over Wigan? That is basically what...
They just go thieving.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Well, that's what the Argentinian government do. We've got to take these islands back. So the military leaders believe that if they took back the islands, then they would unite the country behind them. It would distract the people from all the starving, restore their popularity, and strengthen their international legitimacy. But another thing that's important too is they didn't think Britain would fight back. Okay, that's key to know. And let's talk about that why. Let's talk about why that is. Chapter 4, Britain is absolutely wank. Now, Britain post-World War II are they're broke, right? They've got bare pennies, as the kids would say, and they're basically relying on the US to stay afloat. It's actually an American loan that funds the NHS and other key services. The NHS is like
The National Health Service.
yeah, it's like
Medicare.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ironic that America, the country without public health care,
Is funding-
funds the UK's public health care.
So the agreement beyond the loan, so they only finished paying the loan in like the 2000s, so it was a lot of money. The agreement beyond the loan was that Britain would have to be an absolute bitch to the United States. So we were dragged into several wars after World War II. So we went to the Korean War, we went to Malaysia to do some shit there, and many other Cold War interventions. Britain were at this time were very poor because of the Germans, and thus we couldn't afford to keep the empire. So our empire's crumbling, and America want the influence of our colonies, but but they don't want us to have the colonies. So that's why America are investing money into Britain, because they want to have this influence across Africa, across Asia.
Kind of sounds like what China's doing with like the rest of the world currently.
Yeah. So that's why America's doing that for. They're not just doing it because they want to be kind to Britain. They're doing it so they can get influence.
They're doing it to manipulate.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Americans doing that? No.
So basically, it becomes a Monopoly Mackey's kind of giveaway of nations getting independence. So the countries who get,
Maggie's monopoly.
but everyone's a winner, obviously.
Yeah.
The countries who win their independence are India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Ghana, Malaysia, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Kuwait, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Uganda,
It's a big fucking list.
Kenya,
Are you just
Malawi,
singing that song?
Zambia, Malta, the Gambia, Guinea, Botswana, Lesotho, Barbados, Mauritius, I can't pronounce that name, Eswatini, Fiji, Bahrain, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, the Bahamas, Grenada, Papua New Guinea, Dominica, Solomon Islands, Tuvalu, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Kiribati, Zimbabwe, Antigua and Barbados, and Belize, among
Britain
others.
owned a lot of countries.
I also butchered many of those names. The only good children behaving at this point are Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. And
Don't be getting any ideas.
And I want to thank you personally, Lachlan, for that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, don't get any fucking ideas.
Sorry, why did we give away the most like resource-rich countries and end up with?
Because we couldn't
the shit
afford
ones?
it. We couldn't afford to keep it up. We were like literally so broke at this time.
But there's fucking oil.
I didn't
you
put
gave
this in
away
here.
Saudi Arabia.
Britain was
Bahrain.
Britain was so poor at the time that I think if you were like a top 5% of earners in the UK, your tax rate was 95%,
Fuck, I'd kill myself.
which is like that's horrific.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That sounds like Albo's Australia.
That sounds like I think Albanese is doing the same fucking thing to us right now.
That's like what the fucking
That is a
pensioners
joke.
think they're getting taxed for.
Which is why the Beatles wrote Taxman.
Oh,
Yeah. So basically, the picture I'm trying to tell you right now is that Britain is for sale because we are literally so poor at this time.
fuck, Lachlan, why didn't you buy Australia, you dickhead?
Yeah, I know.
You should have been alive.
Yeah. In the 1970s, Britain faces many pressures, including increased inflation 25%, unemployment climbing to record highs, although that would get worse in the 80s
The
before
oil
war.
crisis, is that on your list?
Which one?
The oil crisis of 1972.
That isn't in there. Can you explain what the oil crisis was in a few words?
Very much like the oil crisis of 2026.
It
stopped flowing.
Yes, we did. That is in there.
Yeah.
That I did read about that. Yeah, basically, Britain actually did. I don't know how long it was for. So the prime minister at the time in the early 70s, said, "By the way, Christmas this year is gonna fucking suck. You're not gonna have any presents and stuff." Well, I don't know if he said that.
No, but he pretty much to that
Britain
effect.
moved temporarily to a 3-day week, right? But
Oh,
for
wow.
so for 3 days they had all power and stuff like that. But for the rest of the week, power was forcibly switched off.
Yeah, they
Oh,
just had,
Except for
shit.
things like in hospitals and
yeah,
stuff.
they just had
services.
blackouts.
Yeah,
Just-
wow.
They had blackouts for a long time,
Yeah.
right? So
when was this?
in the
70s. Frequent strikes
What?
between key
That
industries that
seems
kept
so like fucking medieval.
Yeah. Frequent strikes between key industries that kept the country moving. Later, the very controversial mining strikes, where factory basically says, "All right, stop playing with the ball and take it home." And Liverpool never recovered. So basically, because inflation is going so fucked, Britain owned many key assets at this point, like public services. But because inflation's so fucked, the unions keep asking for more money. But it gets to a point where they actually just Britain can't afford to keep paying them, and so factory turns around and goes, "Well, fuck it, then I'm just going to sell all the mines," and that means that basically Britain has never recovered from that because all these key northern cities who rely on the mines for their infrastructure and their economic
gone.
aid is just gone, and so these cities have never recovered from that.
Yeah, right.
There's such a disparity between London and the rest of the United Kingdom because of that. Germany's economy at the time as well soared past Britain, and it got so bad, and I think you'll like this, Cameron, that Ugandan President Idi Amin set up a Save Britain fund where he publicly offered to send food and assistance to Britain. He even been in contact with the Queen to do so, which is a bit of a cruel jab from him. So that's one of the funny things. One of our former colonies was trying to set up a Save Britain fund. He had all these vegetables.
Wasn't he trying to hit the Queen up as well?
Yeah,
or something?
probably.
Yeah.
Fucking-
No, it wasn't
Idi
the guy.
Amin
Well, that was
was
the guy who owns Harrods. He was trying to hit the Queen up
How many people are hitting up the Queen?
a lot.
Idi
She
Amin was a
fit back in
very
the day.
strange bloke, and
He
that's
was.
a topic for another day because that's a whole ass
He's a guy.
like
The last king of Scotland. or
last king
whatever.
of Scotland was Idi Amin. He was a very
But-
strange bloke.
Be honest, as a joke goes, is it pretty funny for him to be like, "Let's save Britain"?
Well, that's
Yeah.
top banter.
It's banter.
That's top banter.
Top bands.
Anyway, so things got so bad and messy in Britain that they elected a woman. And I mean this in the context of the 70s, obviously, economy quite a bit of a
Yeah.
misogynistic place. So I'm not saying that as a misogynistic.
That is kind of crazy that they did do
Elected
that
a woman in the
Yeah.
70s, yeah. So Conservative leader Margaret Thatcher became Prime Minister in 1979.
Margaret.
Maggie Thatcher, but the economic hardships didn't stop there. Britain was selling its assets, people were severely unhappy, and as a result, Thatcher's popularity was at an all-time low. Britain were in the process of cutting their military budget and even reduced soldiers from overseas territories like the Falklands, and all that gave Argentina one idea. Britain wouldn't fight back. So they've actually taken soldiers away from there. Britain actually was selling ships at the time, like warships, to Australia and New Zealand. And New Zealand, like a little good...
Cameron shit himself.
I have to be.
Oh, Christ. Why do you move so awkwardly? Anyway,
He's autistic.
Yeah.
Chapter 5.
Not
Those
even the
dirty
good type
RGs
of
slapped us.
Who?
Those dirty RGs slapped us. You can say
RGs.
RGs, can't you?
That's kind of racist.
No, it's not. Look,
Yeah.
they're
To
white.
Argentinians. Yes. Oh, sorry. You can't be white. You can't be racist to white people.
Yeah, well, they also...
Bloody RG.
Yeah, but also, to be fair, Cameron, they literally attacked our southernlymost point. Like, they
they attacked the south of England.
Yeah, Didcot and Skem's love child is getting fucked right now.
You're
So-
right. It's okay to be racist to Argentinians because they attacked us.
So on the 2nd of April 1982, Argentinian forces, mainly made of conscripted teenagers, landed on the Falkland Islands. The invasion was met with fierce defense, but with only a handful of Royal Marines stationed, they were no match. The Argentines landed several hundred commandos and marines and quickly gained control of key locations around Stanley. Fighting occurred around Government House, where Governor Hunt was based. And that's based in where he was, not as in like, yo, he has wicked opinions, man, he's based.
I didn't think you meant that,
Okay.
but thank you for clarifying.
After receiving reports that Argentine forces had effectively surrounded Stanley and that continuing resistance would likely lead to civilian casualties, Governor Hunt basically goes, okay, well, we're gonna just fucking quit. He actually doesn't say the word surrender because he thinks it's too cowardly. So he gives up. He's just like, oh, we're just gonna stop playing now. He took his bullet and went home.
Stop playing.
Yeah. So he met Argentine commanders and formally surrendered the islands before leaving. And this is like performative as fuck, I think. Governor Hunt reportedly put on a ceremonial governor's uniform, completed with a plumed hat, to emphasize that he was surrendering as the Queen's representative rather than as a defeated military commander. And that's performative, isn't it?
That is very.
That's like over
That's
the top.
something Harry would do.
Yeah, he'd like, well, I'm surrendering on behalf of the king and not because I'm a little bitch. It only took a few hours for Britain that morning to lose Didcot and Skem's love child, that is the Falklands. And many in Argentina believed that the islands were theirs, but they didn't count on the fact that Thatcher would rather die than lose, and so Britain's coming back to bite. Because if there's one thing that Thatcher is known for, is that she, like, if you, like, you know, like, if you make an argument with someone, and then they kind of argue, and then you kind of go, okay, fair enough, I'm just going to leave it there. But then they keep, like, you know, go, well, actually, blah, 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 blah. That's Thatcher. She won't give up.
Right.
You can't give Thatcher an inch.
I wouldn't want to give her an
She'll
inch.
take a mile.
Kind of like you.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm the modern day Margaret Thatcher. Not a sentence I want to hear. So on the 6th of April, the British government set up a war cabinet to oversee the day-to-day events of the war. There were many consultations and voices that urged Thatcher not to go to war, but she said, "They have taken our precious Didcot and Skelmersdale boys." If it's at the southernlymost point of England. The UK imposes a 200-mile exclusion zone around the Falkland Islands, which becomes controversial later. And there is much debate as to whether Prince Andrew, who was with the Air Force at the time, should be sent to fight. Many felt that it'd be bad if, it'd be a bad look if a British royal got killed. But reportedly, after Andrew was told they'd taken the islands, he insisted upon going.
Someone
Is
also
it because it's full of teenage?
yeah.
Yeah. So Prince Andrew is a bit indifferent, but then they go, Andrew, the islands have been captured. And he goes, they're taking the islands? I'm fucking going to defend. So he goes to the islands because he wants
But
to
did he get
defend
it mixed up and go to Epstein's?
Yeah, I think he thought the Epstein Island was under
Also, I don't know if you're going to mention this, but one thing to bring up is that
Prince Andrew never gets mentioned again. So.
Maggie
Who's Prince Andrew? Isn't his name just Andrew now?
Maggie also thought that it would be a very good idea politically to take back the islands.
She did, because her popularity was so low that she thought by taking back the islands it would. And to be fair, it worked. But yeah, but she also she can't lose. That's like in her mind. If she gives it up, that's embarrassing. And I think her idol is like Winston Churchill. So for her, she'd be like, what would Churchill do? And Churchill is just like,
Starve the Indians.
yeah. So Thatcher starved the Indians.
And then went on.
Doesn't even own the country anymore.
No.
Starves the Indians.
What would Churchill do? Chapter 6, The Empire Strikes Back.
This is my
I
favourite.
like that one.
And I don't know if you noticed, but when the British were on their way to the Falkland Islands, I think a newspaper in England... No, it was... Okay, we'll get to this point later on, because it happens later. The United States were initially hesitant for Britain to go to war with Argentina, as they were the ones who actually had supported the previous uprising. But Thatcher said no. Basically, Thatcher said no, fuck off. And then said to Reagan, well, what would you do if Alaska had been invaded? And so Reagan's like, okay, fair enough then. The US then give Britain a bunch of weapons because, of course they did. Thatcher had stated at this point the only outcome she would accept would be an absolute surrender from the Argentinian government. It was a logistical challenge to the United Kingdom to fight a war so many darrens away, but the British had requisitioned civilian cruise ships and containers, and by the time they arrived in May 82, the Argentinians had entrenched themselves on the islands. So it took like a month to get there. Argentina had set up like loads of mines on the islands that are still there to this day. You can't just walk around the Falklands because they fucking put bombs and stuff there. It's kind of like the same way in Skem. You can't walk down certain streets because, you'll get attacked.
Yeah.
Or the former Yugoslavia, as we mentioned.
Yeah. The first course of action was to take control of the seas, which Britain did with reported excellence. On the 2nd of May, however, the British did sink an Argentine ship, the Belgrano. Now, that is controversial because it occurred outside of the exclusion zone set by Margaret Thatcher.
Fucking womp womp.
Womp womp indeed. Well, Thatcher did warn the Argentine forces that any sort of threat would be, dealt with.
Yeah.
It's controversial because the ship was sailing away and didn't actually provide an imminent threat.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. And so, after this has happened, basically, some people were like, hey, that might be a war crime. And
let me guess. Britain's response. No.
Yeah. The British newspaper The Sun then puts out
It's got to trust the sun.
then
The
puts
scum.
out a picture of Britain sinking the Belgrano with the headline being "The Empire Strikes Back." I feel like Britain is most happiest when it is at war with another country.
yeah.
Britain needs to start a war with someone just to get the juices flowing because
Just to get a stiffy.
apparently we were happiest during the Blitz. So
The only thing that Brits like is beer, football, and fighting.
It's
Yeah.
the adrenaline.
finding a small nation. So I feel like maybe let's get Gibraltar going. Spain.
What? Fight Spain for fucking Gibraltar,
Yeah,
man.
let's do it. When challenging whether the ship was a threat, Thatcher said, "That ship was a danger to our boys, and that's why the ship was sunk. I
like
know it
she's
was right
here."
to sink her, and I would do the same again." It was the largest loss of life in the entire war, with 323 killed as a result. The Argentine Navy then withdrew from the islands and played no further part in the war. So,
There you go.
easy dub there, boys.
Effective.
Easy dub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's
GG's. Easy
300
crap.
people have just died, and you're like, easy dub.
Easy dub.
So far, Britain's KD is 312.
Yeah. We've killed 300 people who were leaving.
Yeah. On their
Easy
way
win.
out.
Spawn camped.
It's like playing against bots, really. It's controversial, basically. Britain then took control of the air, and that's where the good hero Prince Andrew bravely and gallantly took back control of the islands in the air, obviously, but not without a few hiccups. Argentine forces.
You know, the islands are on the ground and not in the air, right?
but as in
This isn't fucking Avatar.
okay, but as in Prince Andrew, the hero of our story. He removes a lot of the Argentine Air Force.
Yeah. Him personally.
Him personally.
Yeah.
Argentine.
He wouldn't have done it if they weren't teenage conscripts,
Yeah,
but he
no.
heard that and went, "Oh well."
Well, I need to get those boys on the. I need to get those boots on the ground. Argentine Air Forces do sink HMS Sheffield, which was, to be honest, that was way too far. They went way too far sinking that ship.
They should have just sank Sheffield.
Yeah.
Not even the HMS Sheffield, just Sheffield.
Well, no, because you're playing into the thing there, Jared, about how like the south of Englanders get treated better than the north, and
Yeah.
you're treating the most southerly point of the Falkland Islands much better than the north, which is Sheffield, which I think is bad of you to do that.
Yeah, but it's
The
Sheffield.
north is the heartbeat of the country, Jared.
Sure.
So while this is all going on, British ground troops begin their operation in the islands to take back control. British forces taken out Argentine defences on Pebble Island on the western side, which basically meant they could land there at San Carlos, which doesn't sound very British. Once on the land, the British split into two groups. One group went eastwards towards the capital at Port Stanley, while the other one went southwards to a major Argentine stronghold in Goose Green. When Argentine and British forces met, a trend emerged. There'd be a significant outnumbering job done by Argentina, but they would lose to the highly ranked British forces who would win most battles while suffering almost no casualties. So basically, because they're conscripts, they didn't think they'd fight back. There's so many of them, but they're fucking useless.
Yeah, because you've just got kids to fight a war.
You got kids to fight a war. Well, the British are literally like
Sending
SAS
sending in the best.
trained. Like it is literally like going like rank 1 against Prestige Master level 500. It's no battle.
Also, bear in mind, even at that time, the British forces were all volunteer. So every one of them wanted to be on the ground, were highly trained, and were ready to kill people, versus a bunch of Argentinian teenagers
See, at that point, you now
didn't
just
want
sound
to
like
be there.
You now just sound like a murderer at that point.
Yeah, but hey, all is fair in love and war, is what they say. And at this point in time, it's pretty sad actually if you're one of these conscripts, because they lose the love of the game pretty quickly. It's like Brazil versus Germany at the World Cup when they battered them 7-1, and you have like the Brazilians crying on the sideline. That is basically Argentine conscripts at this point. They're just crying in Port Stanley because
they're done.
Yeah. The Battle of Goose Green lasted over 14 hours on the night of May 28th, with a decisive British victory with over 900 Argentine soldiers surrendering. After this, with these additional soldiers from Goose Green, Britain began their final assault on the city of Port Stanley. Argentinians had placed themselves in surrounding mountains, but kept getting pegged back by the British.
Getting pegged?
Yeah.
In the mountains?
So the British are pegging Argentinian soldiers in the mountains.
Fuck, I never wanted to be an Argentinian soldier before, but...
Teenage Argentinian conscripts.
Hell yeah.
Military.
Ships...
Sounds like a Friday night for Joe.
Yeah. Ships were also shelling Argentine positions in Port Stanley, which meant they were getting it from both sides.
They're getting pegged and fucked.
They're getting Eiffel Towered.
So can you imagine if you're like, at this point, you're like a 19-year-old Argentine soldier.
Oh, the fucking dream.
You're stuck in Port Stanley, a shithole with one pub. You got all these British people coming from the mountains who are highly trained and better than you in every way, and all these navies just firing on you. It's pretty.
You're telling me I'm getting loads blown on me from either side?
Yeah. Towards the end of the Battle of Stanley,
in a shithole with one pub.
The Argentine forces were basically without hope. One commander ordered men to take up positions in the houses, and if the islanders refused, to shoot them. The conscripted soldiers, however, didn't do anything. Cowards. I'm not saying they're cowardly, it's probably good for them they didn't shoot civilians. On the 14th of June, Argentine commander Mario Menendez, which is such a silly, funny name, Mario Menendez. That's like the ChatGPT Spanish name. He met with British commander Jeremy Moore to officially sign the ceasefire that would end the conflict. Around 9,800 Argentine soldiers would become prisoners of war. The British deliberately altered the word unconditional from the ceasefire agreement and changed it to surrender to avoid unnecessarily embarrassing the Argentine commander. So that's pretty.
So that's it. They just surrendered.
Yeah, they surrendered.
They gave up because they got fucked from both sides.
Yeah, and we were like, we fucked them so hard that we were like, okay, this is quite embarrassing now. You guys just surrendered.
leave.
You didn't unconditionally surrender. You just surrendered. Chapter 7. At least they have Lionel Messi. The defeat was a huge shock in Argentina. The ruling military dictatorship lost all support they had left, which of course was very little anyway at the time. The war played a major role in the fall of the current regime, and democracy was soon returned to Argentina. So they can thank us British for that. We give them back democracy. Most tragically of all, Thatcher's popularity grew enormously after the war, and she won a landslide majority at the next election. The islanders gained British citizenship in 1983 and received many quality of life investments which were previously stalled due to conceptions that this would anger Argentina. So a lot of this quality of life stuff was given to the Falklands, and it was coming for it's been coming for a long time. But Britain didn't do it for ages because they felt that if we did it,
it was going to
piss them off.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like it didn't stop anything because they got pissed off anyway. In Argentina, the loss in Falklands War also prevented war with Chile, but I can't be bothered to explain why that is. But Argentina can also thank us for that. Really,
You're welcome.
we did them a fucking favour, really, to be honest with you. Many of the conscripts who were forced to fight returned to Argentina with little to no recognition for their efforts.
What effort? Respectfully, what effort?
They took over. They fought the.
They turned up, they lost, and they survived.
They fought the brave sheep and penguins on the island, which is that's fair enough. Many struggled with physical injuries, trauma, unemployment, and mental health problems. One indication that the people of Argentina have tried to rectify this is by making April 2nd the Day of Veterans and Fallen of the Malvinas War. Even though it's not called that.
Where the fuck is that? It's the
I'm
Falklands.
It's the Malvinas. Where's that?
I'm not
South of
familiar.
England.
No, it's fucking
Should have called it the War of South of
That's
England.
Didcot and Skem's love child that they're talking about there.
Skelmersdale.
The
Skelmersdale.
Yeah. Did Chem.
I was like, you didn't care.
Did come. The British forces also suffered, with many reportedly committing suicide in the years after the conflict. Thatcher spoke of the British forces who fought, "I have boundless confidence in the British character. I believe more heroes will spring up in the hour of danger than all the military nations of ancient and modern Europe have ever produced." Yeah, exactly, Lachlan, yawning. Yapper. Fucking Margaret Yapper.
Margaret Yapper.
Margaret Yapper. Diego Maradona later claimed that their win over England at the 1986 World Cup carried extra significance because of the war, and that the players had seen the World Cup win as symbolic revenge.
Yes.
What? How
Yeah.
comparable?
Yeah.
We won a game! We won a football game!
You
We
lost
won you
the
in
war.
the football!
You lost the war, but we got you in the World Cup. Although to England, that'd be fucking devastating.
Yeah, we were like that.
Yeah, that's like more important to England, to be honest.
Fuck the Falklands.
What's more important, Gary Lineker winning a World Cup or losing our most certainly part of our nation? Don't know. As we end another history lesson, I'd like to finish by these last few points. Argentina to this day still claim the islands are theirs, while Britain just basically laughs.
Go try again.
Yeah, sure.
Do it again.
Yeah, fucking dare you.
Fucking dare ya.
Britain is a
Although with Keir Starmer, he'd probably say, yeah.
No,
Take it.
I feel like Keir Starmer, like, because his popularity is a bit like at the moment. He would be like,
This is the perfect time for
this is him.
Yeah, okay.
But his voice would be like, well, like, you imagine him talking to he sounds like Squidward. He'd be like, all right, well, boys, let's go to the war. We're going to go and fight this one now. He wouldn't like round
I wouldn't be
you
able
up.
to take him seriously if he said
No.
he was going to
Wouldn't have the passion.
But I wouldn't imagine Nigel Farage doing it either, though. Imagine him. He was
No, he'd cock it up somehow.
he'd be like, let's go to Argentina, up the Ra, which is what he So,
I feel like he's the opposite of up the Ra.
have you not seen the video of him saying up the Ra?
Yeah, there's a video of him.
Man, he'll say anything for
Yeah.
those 40.
It was literally on the
Wasn't it on the news?
It was because it was like part of that like what do they call it when you can pay like to get like a shout
Oh, I
out.
can't.
Yeah, the
He
cameo.
had a cameo, and someone said "Sit up the Ra," and then
Yeah.
there's the news thing saying he goes up the Ra, and then the news presenter goes up the Ra, Nigel. It's like an Irish one too,
Yeah.
right? And he's just there going, "Sorry."
Now, it's a bit early in the day, so all I've got actually is coffee, but I hope you enjoy a few pints with the lads tonight. Up the Ra.
Up the Ra, Nigel. I mean, I know that you said sorry. I know you get 87.
The 2013 referendum on the island asked if the islanders still want to be governed by the British, with a backing. So they said yes, they wanted to, with a backing of 99.8%.
Oh,
Ooh, that 0.2%.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they were the
last
Argentines?
2%
So
was the
3 people
Penguins.
said no,
Yeah.
and
I
their reasoning for saying no, 2 of them were like, they wanted self determination. Was like 2 of their
Yeah.
arguments, and I think one person
Just didn't turn up.
just didn't want to be. No, that's an invalid vote. One person just didn't care. So, what are you
I was
gonna
just
say?
saying, it's very funny. Like, Argentina's probably waiting for that referendum going, bet you they really want to be Argentinian. And then just see that everyone's like, No, we
Funny
want
you
to be
say that,
British.
Cameron. Argentina, of course, rejects this referendum.
Of course they fucking would.
The right to self-determination, as they view the islanders as being transplanted people brought in by the British who do not have UN rights.
Are you saying the Falklands are full of trans people?
The Falklands is the most trans place.
Yeah, they're
the world.
Argentinian, but they identify as British.
Happy Pride Month.
This actually is after this come out.
Ah,
Pride
fuck.
Month, yeah. So yeah, well, that's why Britain did it for. They went, well, they're attacking our trans people, and so we went down there to.
You know what? That was good of us to protect our trans people.
I did not think Thatcher would be pro-trans, but.
And that's when we lost all the right-wing people who were listening to this
Yeah,
podcast.
that's why Nigel Farage wouldn't be good, because he'd be like, well, I'm not fucking doing that. But that's our most southerly point, Nigel. Yeah, but they're trans. Fuck that. But also, the fact that the Argentina claim that the people there have no human rights is pretty funny. Well, actually, it's not funny. It's pretty fucking weird.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense why everyone goes, nah, we would rather be ruled by Britain.
It
Because
is
they
weird
think we have
because
rights.
And they think we're trans.
I'd love to Google this. What was Argentina's, what was their, plan with the Falklands? I'm just going to ask Pete.
I'm going to ask Pete.
Hey, when...
Pete, alright. I'm here with that slower, darker tone you prefer.
Slow enough. What the fuck?
Okay, wait, stop. Okay, listen. When Argentina invaded the Falklands, what was their long-term plan to deal with the islanders living there?
When Argentina invaded the Falklands in 1982, they didn't have a clearly public long-term plan for the islanders.
Classic.
Some historical discussions mention ideas of relocating the Falklands population or replacing them with Argentine settlers. However, these were more military or speculative ideas rather than formal policies. In reality,
Boring.
Basically, they had no plan.
Boring. So they were just going to get rid of the trans people
Yeah,
and then transplant their own trans people.
yeah. Well, it's I suppose it's the J.K. Rowling thing. They're going to replace all the LGBT people on the Falkland Islands and then just put the lesbians on there. So
Just put the lesbians
Yeah.
on there.
yeah, so So we told those Argentine lesbians, get away from our islands. It's full of British trans people, and we want to protect their rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good guy, Britain.
Yeah,
Not
good
to
guy,
disrespect Argentine lesbians. They have a right to live as well, but not on our
We
islands.
never, not on our trans
Not on-
island.
Not on our trans islands. Anyway, while the islands are still disputed today, war seems unlikely, as many from both sides would rather work out diplomatically. 907 people died during the conflict.
I reckon we have Falklands too. Just give it another try.
They won't do it because both nations see the Falklands as being a major fuck up.
Or Britain just fucks around. Let's just take Argentina.
Yeah, let's just go for the big one.
Just go for the big one, because then when Argentina's like that, just like the Falklands,
And we get their
just
football team.
Well, that's you're ours,
Yeah.
so they're by default. That's ours.
And we get that
Dickheads!
we get their football team. So Lionel Messi, the greatest
it's
English
suddenly,
player.
it's suddenly the best.
Colonialism 2, Electric Boogaloo.
But the whole point of colonialism too is that we get their good football players. That's the only
all
reason
we're
why we're
doing it
doing
for.
it for. Yeah,
in the middle of the World Cup
This
too.
sounds like a big game of Risk.
it does sound like a big game of Risk. Except you wouldn't put that many pieces that way just for the fucking Falklands.
Yeah.
It's funny you talk about taking places because the Republic of Ireland at this point actually can't afford a Northern Ireland. If they were to get Northern Ireland back and unite the entirety of Ireland, they couldn't afford them.
The world is
Because Northern Ireland is a massive deficit on the United Kingdom's money.
Fucking get rid of it. Give it to him.
That's the thing.
Give it to
The
him.
world is so poor that even the United Kingdom, London, would look at Northern Ireland and go, "Oh, really, honestly, if you want it, you can have it."
Oh yeah, the UK don't want Northern Ireland because they're a massive deficit, but the problem is they're like, we don't want Northern Ireland, and the entirety of Northern Ireland go, tough shit, we want to be part of you.
Here's the thing, right? And I don't want to disrespect you, Cameron, but what good has actually come out of Northern Ireland?
Oh, nothing. Oh, thanks, Jared.
What good has come out of Northern Ireland?
Cameron,
I appreciate that.
because he
Jared.
left.
Yeah.
That's
Just
the good
me,
that
though.
came out.
Just me.
Yeah.
And George Best. That's about it.
Cameron and his family.
Thank
And
you,
George
Jared.
Best, obviously.
And George Best.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't even play for England, so what's the fucking point in having him?
Fuck you.
Ridiculous. Anyway, Lachlan is a colonial bread thief.
Yes.
Victim of colonization. Is that giving you any ideas? Because I'm telling you right now, if you fucking try something, we'll fuck you.
from both the mountains and the sea.
Well, maybe he's more like a
Unloading
Falklander.
from both sides.
Maybe he's more like
Maybe-
a Falklander,
maybe
and he
he is.
wants to be with us. You know?
But I'm telling you right now, I will be on the Glasshouse Mountain shooting at your teenagers
Jesus Christ.
if you fucking try something.
All right, that's noted. All I have to ask is when are we going to go
When are you
The
going to
Falklands.
to Falklands?
go? How do you get flights to
Flights to
You
Falklands.
probably have to go via Argentina. Could you imagine?
Honestly, you probably do.
You probably do.
Why do you guys want to go there? No reason.
There are no direct commercial flights from Australia to the Falkland Islands.
No
That's
shit.
kinda fucking, that's woke, isn't it?
Well, of course, there's not going to be a fucking commercial flight.
The
from
most
here.
common route is from Sydney to South America and then connecting to the islands.
Yeah.
So, but you have to fly to Chile. You can't fly to Argentina. Because, here's another fun fact for you. When war broke out, all South American nations backed Argentina except for Chile.
Fair enough.
Chile would chill and they were like, actually, we don't
Were
mind.
they Chile?
They were Chile with us. So they don't mind us.
Although that's very funny because Chile have like a massive history of like fighting everyone else. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
When it comes to South America, the rest of them are like, "Hey, Chileans, you're also South American," and Chile are just kind of like, "No, actually, fuck you."
Yeah. There are bros, Chile, really. We like them. Anyway, Falklands War, that's it.
Chile.
They're
So who were the good guys? Who were the bad guys?
Well, before we get to that, the Falklands War is probably the funniest war that's ever happened because it really is like Big Brother taking the Xbox controller off the little brother.
I like that analogy.
It is
Just
like-
because he's the closest to it doesn't mean
Yeah,
he's
Harry's
anti-Xbox.
been playing Call of Duty for way too long, and I want to fucking like he's had his turn.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter. I've been playing for years. Give me the controller back. That is basically what the war is.
Well, you said it's the funniest war, but there was that one war that was started because a guy shoved a bottle up his bum.
What? What?
All right, let's save that for a future episode.
For next time.
Next week on Piss Poor Past. There's a bucket war.
There is the bucket war, that's
the
a very
emu
funny
war
one
is a
as
really
well.
boring war.
Bottle up the bum war.
Yeah, so many funny wars, but I think the Falklands is by far the funniest. So who would be our main like character in this? Is it Thatcher? No. Is it the British themselves? British colonialists, are they good guys or bad guys?
In this one
Fuck.
instance,
What a complex question.
Who are the main guys in this war, in this story?
Well,
it
Britain
goes-
and Argentina.
Yeah. It
Okay.
goes over such a large span of time. That
Okay, so we'll separate Britain and Argentina. We'll talk about Britain first. Are they going in the good guys camp or are they going in the bad guys
The
camp?
thing
as
is, when
well?
Britain got there, literally no one was though.
No. This
So-
is why they're kind of
They
seen as, like,
technically didn't do anything wrong. They just went,
this thing.
"This is
this
ours."
is like the
I
one
think-
justified British
Yeah.
war.
The thing
they're,
is,
they're the anti-hero.
the thing is, right? It's funny you say that because like because there were no people there, Britain do have like the sway of like most people back them, but if there were Argentinian indigenous people, then it would be swayed the
yeah.
other
Then
way.
it'd be yeah.
But Argentina kind of claim that Britain are like this colonial power taking over indigenous land. That's what the Argentine perspective
Oh,
is.
was
Yeah,
it
fair.
indigenous land?
Or did they just go, "Oh, we found this"? And
Their
someone's
argument
already
is
here. Oh,
it's
we
close
already
to
know
us.
that.
Oh, that was ours.
It's close to us, and we brought a canoe there once. That is
Oh,
basically
we
their
were
argument.
just about to, set up camp there.
We literally
We
were
were
about to
literally
fucking do
days
that.
away.
Fuck. They set their own plaque there, but it was made of wood, and it just kind of fucked off after a while.
So when they did the plaques, did they just put like it on top of each other or like one next to it? Like, did the plaque eventually just get so high up?
I don't know. Do you want to know what it was on the plaque? What did the British plaque say?
This is the mainland of Britain. Get the fuck off
Say
of the south
on.
of England.
Falklands. Okay. The British plaque said, "This is a bit fucking much."
Frankie.
What do you think it would say? Just like, oh,
Like,
no,
I
we
hereby
own this.
declare that this island belongs to Her Majesty. Fucking wank, wank, wank.
That Falklands Island with this fort, the storehouses, wharfs, and harbours, bays, and creeks thereunto belonging are the sole right and property of His Most Sacred Majesty George III, King of Great Britain, France, and Ireland, Defender of the Faith.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Defender
I'd
of
expect to say.
of the faith, third
Yeah.
of his name,
The Christian faith.
the King
The
of the
Church of
Angles,
It's
and-
interesting that he added
First
France there as well, just so they didn't get uppity about it. Like,
Yeah,
oh, well,
no,
you guys are
yeah.
here as well, you know? So they
Wait,
just went,
technically the French then turned up, so why the fuck were the... This plaque already
because at
says
this-
France.
No, because at this point, the France were like, they got told by Spain, by the Pope, that the Pope drew a line.
That's where it all went to shit. The
Yeah.
Pope made the decision.
The Pope's the bad guy.
The
Pope is the bad guy.
The Catholics, again, in history shows that they are the bad people.
So
Don't like
are
them
we
Catholic lot.
are we saying that the Catholics are the ones? that are
the
wrong,
Catholic Church are the problem in this story.
Yeah.
Like they have been a lot of the time.
Yeah. Prince Andrew and the Catholic have a lot in common, though.
What?
We know what.
I don't.
We know what, Jared. Come on.
Nonsing.
Yeah.
Really?
No, not Prince Andrew.
Not Prince Andrew.
But he was the hero of the
Catholic Church, that
Falklands
makes
Air
sense.
Force.
He was a fear of the Falklands. He was best mates with Sir Jimmy Savile, Knight of the Realm, Sir Jimmy Savile. Are you telling me they're both problematic people?
And Epstein. Epstein did nothing wrong.
No, he was just a okay, we'll end it there. I think we'll end it there.
And that's what the line was in this episode.
I can't believe Savile was problematic. I'm so sad. I'm going to cheer myself up and listen to some Gary Glitter now.
All right, time to kangaroo dance. All right. Say goodbye, Jared.
Goodbye, Jared.
Say goodbye, Lachlan.
Bye-bye.
Say goodbye, Sir Falkland.
Goodbye, Sir Falkland.
Goodbye from me, Alfie. See you next week.
Bam, bam, bam.